All right, I'm sharing my screen first. I can get it to work. There we go. All right. Sorry, I got to open up a few things. Everyone hear me okay? All right. That's one good thing. One less thing I have to deal with. All right. Let's make this big. Sorry, I like to try to make it big so I can see everyone. There we go. All right. That's good. Then I have the intermediate plan. Too much about the advanced one today. Let's do our. How's everyone doing today, by the way? Covered from the race? Thumbs up, yeah?
Feeling pretty good.
That's good. Yeah, you should, Mr. Speedy. Yeah. All right. So, we're gonna start off with our big scavenger hunt. Man, talk about a close race. Look at this. 1 point. And I see both Amy and John are on here. The point was the deer. The deer was the point difference. You guys had exactly the same thing. I just went through it, was looking at it just for fun. You guys had exactly the same thing. So close. And then Julio was third. So, Amy, I'll be getting you, I have a certificate already. You'll be getting a certificate to the turkey chase, free entry. John, you'll get your $15 certificate to Dave's. And then Julio, I'll give him his $10 certificate to Dave's. Mary was a second, and Brent, or not second, but fourth, and Brent was fifth, 118, 111. A lot of people got a lot of these things, man. This was a big one. I put this is twice as big as the last one I had, the last couple I've had. Coaches helped me out on a lot of these, so it was nice. But good job, all of you. This is I think this is our kind of our most popular challenge. People really like this. It's kind of fun to get you out and walking around and looking at things. And I like seeing people going to the zoo and visiting the zoo in different parts of the town, going to the high level bridge. It's pretty cool. It's fun. I thought it was fun. But anyway, I saw a group of deer this morning, not fast enough. Yeah, they're those deer can be elusive at times. All right, so that's one. So that was good. Now, this week's challenge, we're going to go back to our teams. Okay, our team challenges, because those are kind of important too. I like those. We have some fun with those. So our team challenge this week will be simple. Okay, where's it at? Oh, it's my untitled document. I didn't give it a title yet. Sorry. There it is. Using the Beatles song, Come Together. So I don't think poor Sean I think Sean is pooped out. She's sleeping right now. I think she's napping. I told her I wouldn't bother her. She goes to every meeting. I'm gonna cut her some slack today. Okay. Any other day, I'd yell at her, but I'll cut her some slack today. So anyway, this week's team's challenge is just going to be called from the Beatles song Come Together. This is going to be we had our consistency challenge of how consistent your training is. Now we're going to have an accountability challenge, we kind of call it, where we're going to count for our in-person training how you show up. If you show up on your Tuesday, Thursday scheduled track run, and then if you show up on your Saturday long run. So you get a point if you show up on your Tuesday or Thursday track workout. We're at Fallen Timbers though, don't forget. And then your Saturday long run if you show up there. If you show up to both that week, you get a bonus point. So you can get 3 points for the week for your team. Okay, and then what I'll do is I will average it all out, and then the team with the highest average, point average, will win. So it's pretty simple. Now the remote training group, that will just simply be you syncing your workouts to training tilt, 1 for the track day, 1 point for the long run day. If you sync those 2 days into training tilt, then you will get 1 point for each and then a bonus point. Okay? So I got to get on my training tilt people, my remote training people, because there's a lot who don't access it that much. Okay. The ones that access it a lot are usually on here with me anyway. So I'll have to reach out and hopefully get them motivated. But anyway, so you can get 3 points for the week because we are getting close to Churchill's. You know, and like this says up here, you know, a lot of times we get distracted as the training program goes on and you see it in your groups, and I see it just because I see it all the time, you know, doing the groups all the time. The waning, you know, people wane away. They're all excited the first week, the second week, and then as the weeks go on, weather begins to get colder, cold rain comes in, all of this stuff. Our excitement and our motivation, so to speak, kind of wanes in the last few weeks. So what I'd like to do is, you know, just try to get us back out here, get us back on track, you know, block things out, try to focus a little on yourself and your health and well-being. And so you can come on out and get your training in this week and get some points for your team, because Churchill, 3 weeks from yesterday, it's when Churchill's is 3 weeks from yesterday. So we want to be ready to go on June 14th. So this will be kind of a little challenge, and it's easy for everyone. Just show up, coaches. It's easy just to keep track of their attendance, and we'll go that way for this week. Questions on that at all? Okay. I mean, if you're on the hybrid, then yeah, if you're on the hybrid, the coach, you can talk to your coach. They might be able to look at the track night if you can't make it, and you're like, make the long run and then the track night if you're on the hybrid, because we have a list of what you're all in. And so if you are on a hybrid and you got to miss the track for work or something, yeah, we can have that synced too, with your coaches. So I'll talk to the coaches about that too. That's a good question, Chelsea. Okay. All right. So we're moving into week 12, if I recall, week 12. And I'm going to start with our intermediate plan because that's our main plan. Okay, that's the one most of you follow. And you can see, here's where we're at. We're switching to repetition pace. You don't know what repetition pace is. I'm going to give you a little explanation on kind of what I think it is, or how I perceive it and how we use it here. It is a pace close to a sprint. It's probably not your max. You're not all out sprinting, because obviously we don't want pulled muscles. We don't want people getting hurt and things like that. So it is a pretty quick pace, but we will give you more rest to accommodate that quicker pace, because you're going to go into cardio debt much quicker than if you were running, let's say, a 2K at interval or threshold pace. Okay, you're going to go into cardio debt. You're going to be huffing and puffing real quickly. So one, we can't do a ton of this. All right. And this is the big one. And then two, we're not really, this isn't something I would say that's going to develop your distance training for the half marathon. What it does is it gets that fast twitch going a little bit better, and it makes the slower pace feel a little easier for you, because you are getting in some now quicker, faster type sprinting workouts. And so that does help, you know, motivate you and keep you going, and lessen that pace load for you as you get to the easy pace runs, so to speak. Okay. Is it, you know, all out? No. But, you know, let me see if I can bring that up for you to make sure. There it is. I had to move this out of the way. Sorry. And I'll move that. Let me bring up the pace chart just so you can take a gander at it too. Remember, the pace chart is in Training Tilt. It is in the files. That seems to be, you know, where I put everything, just in case you have not heard me for the last 12 weeks. I kind of put all those things there. But anyway, here's your pace chart. And you see down here, repetition pace. It's going to take you into oxygen debt early. I mean, you know, within the first 150, 200 meters. This pace will definitely push you into that red zone and sometimes a little out, but you're going to get more recovery. Okay. Pace is designed to raise your cardio so that, like I said, that race pace might feel a little bit easier for you. And so this week we're going to go with 12 400s. Okay. 12 400s is the goal. But as you can see, you're getting 2 minutes rest. I mean, before you were literally running like thousands and mile repeats with like maybe 1 or 2 minutes rest. Now you're only running one lap around. If we were on a track, it'd be one lap around the track, and you're getting 2 minutes rest. So the idea here is now is you know, to get a little quickness, a little speed. Now that's the intermediate plan. I believe the advanced plan is the same for this. If anything, it might have 2 or 4 more, but that would be it. Okay. And then the big tempo run. This is the main important workout. This is an important workout for this week. Like I was telling people, I was explaining to some of my remote training group last week in our individual meeting. Um, the hierarchy of these workouts should be long run first, road work second, track third. Whenever you start getting beyond 10Ks, that becomes the priorities begin to shift from track to the road into long runs. So we're not doing 5K training. I know we did a remote program in the summer and the track was the focus. Those quicker, faster workouts for 5K, 10K training. But now we're doing half marathon and marathon training, and a lot of you that have done these programs before, I kind of hammer that, into a lot of you. Long runs top priority, the road workouts the second top priority, and the track workouts the third priority. So if there's something you have to miss, especially now that we're getting closer to Churchill's, definitely make it the 400s. Okay, definitely make it that, because you want to get that. And I know that's part of the challenge, but I don't want to poo-poo that either. But I'm just letting you know, as time gets pressed, if you are pressed for time, then those are the two. Those are going to be the butter work. I wouldn't say butter, bread and butter workouts of the next 2 weeks. Are these tempo runs and the long runs? Okay, that especially this week, that's the focus, because you can see after this week we kind of begin to power down a little bit and start getting ready. We power down more and start getting ready for Churchill's. This week, just a little, not a lot, just a little. I don't do a huge cut down in my programs until we get to like the week of 10 days out or so. So you can see here, this week's still going to be a decent week of training. So we want to make sure we have that in play. Okay. And then our long run is supposed to be 15 miles. I'm going to keep it at 15. And that is going to be up to anyone. If you are nervous about doing 15 this close to the race, or you don't feel comfortable doing that, we definitely will be running loops again this Saturday, and you can definitely shave off some miles here. But I would make sure it's a minimum of 11 to 12 miles. Minimum. I wouldn't go below 11, and I would like to see everyone try to at least hit 12 for this run. But that's obviously completely up to you in what you can do, what you're available for, let's say, if you don't really want to do that 15. Now, our novice plan, very similar in that Monday, you are also doing 12 400s. Okay. You were only, I know I'm picking on you guys this week. You're only getting a minute rest, but you're doing interval pace. Okay. We don't have to get that real good foot speed with you guys right now. We just want to keep building our stamina, keep working on cardio strength, keep working on leg strength for the run, the distance we're covering. So I'm not too concerned about turnover for this group. I'm concerned about making sure we can run 13.1 miles, walk, run, whatever we plan to do in our novice group at a decent, feeling good the whole way through, not pooping out around mile 10 or 11. Okay. So that's why we're going to stick with 12 400s, 1 minute rest at interval pace, because we want to keep working cardio with you guys. All right. So that's why there's a difference there. Backed off your long run, midweek long run this week to 45 minutes, still a decent little bit, but we're going to give you a little break because the workout on Tuesday or Thursday for you guys. So the workout's going to be pretty tough for you. And then the 11-mile run, we got another big 11-mile run. So I want to make sure we save a little bit for that. Okay. Because that'll be your second long run. And then you can see you power down too. All right. Questions on that one? Okay. All right, good. I just want to make sure everyone's staying on with the training plan. We're doing all right there. And then the only thing left, I just had a couple of announcements. One, if you didn't get your hoodie yet, they're in the Sylvania store. Okay, you can stop by anytime at the Sylvania store. They will be there through the duration of the program. All right. And if you don't get them by then, they're going to be put in storage. You can't keep them in the store infinitum. We have to pull them out eventually. So I'll keep them in there the next 3 weeks. They'll be there, and there's a list that they'll check you off on. If there's any issues with it, you don't like the size, or you're hoping to change the size, maybe you got to go through me. The store is just going to give you what they're going to give you. They're not, they're not in the program, so they don't know how we run it. So they're just going to give you the size and then check you off. That's really all they're going to do. They can't really, I don't want them doing anything else, because then it'll mess up what we're doing here, how I want it to roll. Okay. I'm kind of a control freak, if you haven't noticed that by now. So we're going to do it that way. All right. Uh, what else? What else? I think we had one more thing. Oh, just about the race this weekend. That was a good race. I hope those of you that went there had a good time with it. I liked the course. Didn't like the hairpin turn on the 10K at the second loop. I thought my knee was going to pop when I hit that cone and had to like almost stop and go back the other way. But the rest of the course I thought was pretty cool, running through the neighborhoods of Rossford. A couple nice hills in it. That's good for us. Don't want to run flat courses all the time. That helps us for church hills because you know as well as I do, we got a little hill at the end, and there's some rolling hills when you start coming down River Road. When you cross that bridge, you start coming down River Road towards Monument Hill. You're going through some rolling hills there too. So that was a good practice today. Good practice run yesterday if you were at the race. And it was cool. So that helped us out too, get a little cool weather in because it's probably going to be cool for Church Hills. We'll see though. I mean, the way this weather's been going so far, it's seesawing. You know, one day it's 40, the next day it's 70, one day it's 40. So we'll see. Um, Hopefully it won't be like 2 years ago and like, what was it, 15-degree wind chill or something. Oh, it was miserable 2 years ago. I did not like that one. Okay. I love the course too. That was a good course. I hope they do that again. That was pretty cool. And then getting to see other people, like people coming this way as you were going that way. That was fun seeing other people and yelling for people too. I like that. So overall, good week. So we're going to keep at it. Like I said, we're down to the last 3 weeks. There's not too much to cover. Next week, we'll start covering what we're going to do about the race, how we're going to prepare and things like that. And then after that, after next week, it's kind of just stay healthy, stay upright, don't do anything crazy. Because after this week, there's not too much we can do to get better. Okay, there's not a lot of things I can do for you to make you faster for the 13.1 mile distance. There are things you can do, I can do to make it worse, to get yourself hurt, to get yourself tired out, before this race and all that. So after this week, if you've been doing a pretty good job on the training, after this week, it's kind of just maintaining status, staying fresh, staying healthy, start beginning to get our legs back under us so they're not so beat up and tired all the time. So come November 14th, we're ready to roll. We're not going to start packing in too much. The novice plan, yeah, we go right close up to that week. But even next week, you see, I'm taking the long run down to 9. And we're only going to do 3,000 meters of work next week, things like that. So we are taking some things down for everybody. We just want to be ready for that race on the 14th. Okay. So I'm gonna heed that to you now. That warning to you is, please, in the next several weeks here, don't get overexcited and worry that you missed some workout here. So now you're going to add it in on a Sunday after you've done the whole week of training, or you're going to do more this week because you missed something last week. That's how we get ourselves hurt. Okay. If you missed something last week, you just chalk it up and move on. Okay. You don't obsess over it or worry about it. We just move to the next day. Okay. Is there any kind of tape or bandage for compression? Yeah, that's a good question, Pat. It's called KT tape. Dave's has it. I know we saw it at Dave's and other places has it. It's literally the initials K and T, and it's a specialized tape. You probably see it on people on their legs and arms and that. And football players will have it on the backs here. Some runners will have it on their thighs and on their calves and their hamstrings. And it's taped. It's taped to kind of keep things together. If your muscles are beginning to get, if something's wrong, it kind of holds things in. Some people like it, some people don't. Studies are out on it. I'm not sure. I haven't read too much on it, but I know some people say it works and some people say it doesn't. But you can always remember, we're going to have a Dana. Yeah, Dana will be here this Thursday too. So again, whether you're remote training, whether you're in-person training, you can always come out and see the trainer, or you can Facebook message them during that time period if you can't make it out. So that 6:30 to 7:30 window on this Thursday, if you can't make it out, if anyone is feeling a little, as Dana calls them, niggles, or little aches and pains, by all means, you can reach out to her or come on out to Fallen Timbers. Even if it's not your workout day, you're a Tuesday. I was just telling someone in an email, they have an injury going on, and they're online training. I said, come on out Thursday, come on out and see them. She'll look at you because this one big program. Doesn't matter if you're online, doesn't matter if you're Tuesday, Thursday. you can still come out on an off day to see the trainer if you need to. Okay, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, I think we have them at Dave's, the KT tape, kinesio tape. Some people also call it too. Okay, how about any other questions for this week coming up, or anything else I might have missed? I think we're doing pretty well here. I think this is going real well. Also, start looking for. Yeah, I know. There's always things that happen. I know. I get the same thing. I get hurt too on weird things, just off chances. But everything's going real well. I'm going to start getting things ready for spring MIT for anyone that's interested in that. We are doing it because Glass City Marathon has already been approved to run in person, even with COVID going on, because we're going to do all those restrictions. We're going to plan for that, and depending on what level we're at in April, we'll see what we can do and what we're allowed to do and that. But we do have it approved to have an official race. So it will happen this year. Okay, so we are doing a training plan. The only thing I'm still working on, and the only thing that might not prevent the training program, but might throw a little monkey wrench into it, is our inability to get to an indoor track. Because most of them are on universities, and universities have serious crackdowns going on at times. And I'm in contact with the BG guy that runs the field house, nice guy, but he says, he goes, I thought I was going to be able to tell you we could do it this week. He goes, but then they tell me, hold on. So he's going week to week too. And my son uses the indoor field house for soccer. And he says there's nobody on that track, right? Nobody is even in there right now. They have like weights on the rubberized mats in the middle, on the floor in the middle of the track. The track's open and they use it sometimes, but no one's really giving full use out of it right now. So we'll have to wait and see. If not, we're still going to do it. We'll just be running some 1000s in the dark in maybe 32-degree weather or something like that. Hopefully for another mild winter like last year. We have a couple sites we're looking at. Obviously, Fallen Timbers is the big one, but talking to Jeff Swartz over by Savage, that area I use for the holiday training program, we could use that because Mercy has their PT offices out there too, and they'll allow us to have indoor access too, so we can kind of meet in there and stay warm, and then go out and do our workout. So I'm looking in that too, because I don't think it's not good for COVID if we huddle 100 people into that little vestibule in Fallen Timbers. It might not be good. It's not a good look for anyone. Okay, so yeah, let's get after this week. Challenge is easy, right? No problems with that. If you can get there, get there. If not, my remote people, I'll talk to them. But if you're a hybrid trainer, let your coaches know which day you have to miss, and then they can set you up with that. But anyway, we're gonna have a good week. Weather looks to be a little mild. It's gonna be rainy tomorrow, so get that run in when you can. As long as the weather's not too miserable, around 6:30, come on out and run with us. We'll be out at Dave's Running Shop, Sylvania one, for our group run. Okay? All right, gang. If there's no other questions, I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Okay? Or I'll see you Tuesday and Thursday too, in person, some of you, for the workout at Fallen Timbers. All right. Thanks for showing up.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Thanks.